Hey guys, Janelle here on the blog today, and I have got a beginner tutorial for Silhouette Cameo 3 users. I want to teach you guys how to use the print and cut features in this program. And I've got to be honest, I am totally and completely a beginner. This is the first project I have learned how to do in this program. So forgive me if you know more than I do, but I was really hoping to inspire people like me who ordered their Cameo and were so excited and then left it sitting in the box because they were really intimidated by it when they opened up the software. So I'm really hoping today that I can show you guys just some quick and easy ways to get you going and get you completing a successful project, because for me, if I complete something, then it's easier for me to go back and try something else in the same software. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So for print and cut, first off, my printer can only handle an 8.5 by 11, so I need to change my document size here. And I'm going to do that by going up to my design page settings window, and it's this little rectangular paper with an arrow pointing to the right and down. So I'm just going to click on that, and you can input your settings manually here, but I'm just going to select the drop down arrow and choose letter from the default. And one thing that's kind of cool too, if you have an oddball shaped paper, if you use this reveal slider right here, you can see some of your grid lines coming through. So that can help you know where you're placing things on your mat, which was kind of fun. So I don't need that because my paper is going to be a full sheet of paper, but it's there if you do. Next, I'm going to go to the registration marks window, which is just right next to it, and it has just the little caret in every corner on the paper there. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to change the style to a type 1 because I'm using a Cameo. And now you can see what it's done here is it's put these little black marks on 3 of the corners. And these are the registration marks that are going to allow your Cameo to know exactly where things were printed on your document. So when it goes to cut them, it will line up perfectly. So if you have a specialty piece of paper and you don't want these registration marks printed all the way to the edge here because you're just trying to do something small, you can move the insets by 4 inches each if that's something that you feel like you need to do. You know, just to make your print area smaller so that you're not using your entire page. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything at the default because I am using a full sheet of paper and I'm not sure how much I'm going to throw on here yet. You can always go back and change it later if you realize that you don't need your full page. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to start pulling in digital elements onto our document here. So I'm going to go to File, and don't go to Open because Open will actually create a whole new document and you're going to lose all of the settings that you just set up here with your registration marks and your page setup. So we're actually going to go to Merge instead. And I'm going to pull some things from this kit, Hello January by Becca Bonneville, Megan Mullins, and Two Tiny Turtles. It just came out a few weeks ago, and they've got some really cute little illustrated animals here that I thought would be really fun for like a card or something. You could do a little tag, just anything. I thought they'd be really cute. I really like this little hello too, and it actually has hello cut out, so we can cut that out, and I'll show you how to do that as well. And let's just grab a few more pieces here because obviously you'll get the idea. I just wanted to show you that this is something that we can do. I like these little flowers. And let's grab one more. There's a super cute tiger in here that I want. Okay, so I'm just going to start with these. This will give you guys a good idea of the basics here. So now that we've pulled all of our elements onto our document, we need to tell the program where we want it to cut. And there's a pretty easy way to do this, and we're going to use the trace feature to let it know where we want it to cut. So the trace settings can be found right up here. It's a little yellow box with like a blue butterfly in it. And we're going to click on that to open it up, and then the first thing that you need to do is select your trace area. So I'm just going to select these individually one at a time. I honestly have not tried to select the whole document at once, but that's possibly something you can do as well. I I'm just going to do each one separately. So I'm going to uncheck this high pass filter, and I have found the easiest way for me to do it is just to use the threshold. And if I amp it all the way up to 100%, you can see that everything has been filled in. And I'm actually, let's zoom in here a little bit. And you can see how the edge is kind of jagged. I'm going to scale that down to the minimum that I can, which is 4. And you can see it just kind of smooth things out. So the higher it is, the more jagged your edges are. So the lower it is, the smoother of a cut you will see. So we've got that set. It looks pretty good. Now, if you say trace, it's going to trace everywhere where the yellow is. If you do trace outer edge, it's just going to trace the outermost edge. So I want to do trace on this one because I want the inside of it cut out as well. And you can see that happen pretty quickly, and the red lines here are my cut marks. That will be where things are going to get cut out. Now, you can move this, but the problem is if you just select one, you're going to lose your cut lines. So I'm going to undo that, Control or Command Z, and I'm going to click and drag over the top of both of those. And then if you come down here to the bottom, or at least mine's in the bottom, I have the Designer Edition, so yours may look a little differently, but we're going to group selected shapes. I'm just going to click on that. And now if I move them around, there's no issues. They don't detach from one another. So that will make my life a little bit easier if I need to move things in order to get my trace in and out of the way of something else. So I'm going to again select my trace area because I'm ready for the next one. Let's grab this little penguin guy here. And you can see I still got some work to do. Again, I'm going to uncheck that high pass filter, and I'm just going to amp my threshold up to 100%. Scale down to 4 to give me a smoother finish there. And this one, I just want to trace the outer edge because I want him cut out in one piece. And there you go. I've got my little red cut marks there. Let's grab Mr. Tiger down here. So I'm going to select my trace area so that I can create my bounding box around what it knows I want to trace. And let's uncheck high pass, amp up the threshold to 100%. Scale down to 4. Now here it might look like, oh, just trace your outer edge. But if you look at his little whiskers right here, if I were to trace the outer edge, it would probably stop right here. And I wouldn't have this piece or this piece cut out. So I'm going to trace the entire thing. Click trace. And now you can see I've got my little red. Let's see, if I were to undo that and just trace outer edge, you can see that I don't have my cut marks in here. So let's undo that and trace the whole thing. Okay, and one more here, select the trace area. And it's kind of hard to tell on my screen, but these little flowers have they're like a sticker effect. So they've got a little bit of the white outline on them, and I want to make sure that I grab that too. I'm going to uncheck the high pass filter, amp up my threshold, there we go, and scale down to 4. And again, I don't want to trace the entire thing because I don't want these little centers cut out, so I just want to trace the outer edge. And I haven't been grouping them because I haven't needed to move anything, but again, remember, if you need to group something, you just click and drag over the top of it and come down here to group them together. Now that we have our entire document traced, we're ready to print. To print, you just print like you do in any program. You go to File, select Print, choose your printer. If you need to change any of your preferences, like where it's printing or what kind of paper you're printing on, go ahead, and then say Print. Now that your document's printed, we're ready to go ahead and cut. If you come over here to what looks like the ratchet blade, it's Cut Settings. Click that. And my workspace may look a little different than yours if you don't have a Cameo 3. The Cameo 3 is the first one that has a dual carriage so that you can do 2 things at once. So I'm just going to be working with tool 1 here because I only want to cut things out. I could put another blade in there like fabric if I had a fabric blade if I had a piece of fabric on the other half of that I wanted to design something on, but I don't need to worry about it right now because I just want to cut this out. You can see when we went to the cut settings as well that the cut line became dark red, or like a bold red, so you can see exactly where things are going to be cut. So if you come down here, you can select the kind of paper you want to use. There are several different kinds of cardstock, just so you know, so you may want to just double check and make sure. There's cover stock, which is like super heavy cardstock, glitter cardstock, you know, there's craft paper, pattern paper, I mean, all kinds of stuff. And when it says silhouette brand, you don't have to worry about it being actual silhouette brand. You should still be okay to select that even if you don't have silhouette brand. So I'm going to go ahead and try cardstock plain. And now I come down here and I select the blade that I want to use. And I am actually going to use the automatic blade, which is also, again, a feature with Silhouette Cameo 3. So I'm going to select that. And it tells me the speed and the thickness. And then I'm going to actually do a test cut here just to make sure that it is going to cut through the paper the way that I need it to. And if not, I can make some adjustments. So I'm going to go ahead and say test cut. And you can hear my machine there. It's adjusting the auto blade at the moment. It's very loud. It's not a quiet machine. Okay, and I'm actually going to unload this as soon as it's done so that I can check and make sure. And it looks good. It's going to work with my paper. So now I'm going to go ahead and load it back in there. Okay, and then we can say send to Silhouette. Okay, so I didn't want to bore you guys with all of the noises and sounds of my Silhouette cutting machine. So here it is with everything all cut out. It did a great job. You can see that there's just a few little spaces where you can kind of see some of the white, but that really doesn't bother me too much. I'm just thrilled that I did not have to take the scissors and cut these out myself. And you can see you can put some cute little cards together with this kind of stuff, or you can make a tag, or if you had like a tiger themed birthday party, you know, the possibilities are endless. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what you can do when you're using the Cameo, the print to cut. It's really user-friendly, easy to use once you know what you're doing. So if you have any questions at all or you need any help, please don't hesitate to post a comment and I will do the best I can to help you guys out. Thanks for watching so much and enjoy your Cameo.